going to become a business mogul. How, you may ask? Shrinky dinks. With this children's shrinking plastic kit, my highway to hedonistic opulence, and lining my pockets with riches most only will dream of, this shrinking kit of plastic sheets will get me there. Anyways, that's my sick joke. You're supposed to be laughing right now, you know, hoo hoo ha ha hee hee. Anyways, I am not Elon Musk, Epo villain cash grabber. I actually was simply out of canvases to paint, and sketching and drawing was not scratching my creative itches. I needed a craft. So this was something suggested to me by my sous chef to try my hand at, and I've always loved a DIY earring. So this is where we're at. Now, obviously, because I am lazy, I purchased a $14 kit online and had it shipped to my home. This one contained everything I was looking for, starting with the plastic sheets themselves, then some pin button backs that I could go without, but it's nice to have the option if I ever wanted to revert to 2012 culture. It also includes a bag of key rings, key chains, whatever you call them, with a small chain to adorn my Shrinkies too, making them charms, and a bag of fishhook earring wires, as well as a bag of baggie of jump rings to attach to all of these items. Then I'll be using an array of colored pencils, different brands too, by the way, some cheap, some fancy, some Rose Art, some Fooey, a couple of Crayola if you're feeling crazy. In addition to various Sharpies, pens, and pencils, I think here I'm showing a Faber-Castell felt tip pen, a Sharpie, and a Micron, but whatever you got, it's just for outlines mostly. You can even use a pencil. Oh, I also forgot the kit comes with a hole punch, major key, because God knows I have no hole punch in my possession, and I am too rash to try to cut a hole like that myself. I would totally be risking injury. And these are my own, but a pair of scissors to cut the designs out from the sheet when you're done. Okay, see this? This is my teeny tiny baby butt little ruler that I made. I simply copied the measurements from a regular size full ruler onto the plastic sheet and then baked it as directed by my kit to get a reference point for how much my shrinkage would be for the sizes of my pieces, so I can have a guide to see what'll happen when they reduce. And I did the same with some swatches of different materials and colors, so I can have a little vision of what'll play nicely together and what will or won't work on the plastic. And now let the creation begin. So yes, I doodle onto the plastic and then I cut them out after. I found that the black pens and markers would smudge a bit when you color over them with the pencils, so I made sure to either color with the pencils first or color carefully around the outlines and making sure not to cross the lines so there's no bleeding. If you're doing this with me, also you need to keep in the back of your mind how or where you might put a hole or attachment point onto your designs and drawings. That way it doesn't feel wrong or secondary when it is hung or applied into these situations. It's actually a part of the design. And if you're not sure what to draw or what to make, think about what you'd like to have as a little earring, a little keychain, charm, as something little silly to see throughout your day and have a smile brought to your face. For me, that's strange dogs, monkeys, angry girls, star balloons, twinkles, bows, tigers, you know, little kitschy, stupid shit. That's my kind of thing. I try to do things that I feel confident drawing or something that I feel I have a fun style to add to. And for some, I even sketched out a sort of flash sheet on regular printer paper before taking to the plastic. This is a smart move if you're going to make earrings, especially to ensure you have a matching pair and designs that are mates. If you're unsure or workshopping an idea, I definitely would start with the paper and then trace that onto your plastic afterwards. And then, of course, bake. In true Easy Bake Oven children's toy style fashion, I use the smallest cookie sheet I have, mainly because I can guarantee that this one is clean. My kit said to bake at 329 for 1 to 2 minutes. I found for most of them it took 1.5 minutes, closer to 2 minutes. You can also use a toaster oven, I believe. Anyways, this is what they look like before the oven, and this is what they look like after the oven. As you can see, they are about a half to a third of the original size size. So that is why we did the ruler. Remember? Okay, cool.
Wow, wow, wow. These are beautiful. Wow, wow. Gorgeous.
Now comes my Bob Rossification. With a paintbrush, I coated each dinky in a layer of this sculpey glaze, ensuring that I repuncture the charm's connection opening, I don't want to say hole, but the hole, so that you can put the jump rings and stuff through it. And then let those babies dry for like, I don't know, couple minutes, maybe 10. And then once they're not sticky anymore and everything's dry and they're solidified, you're going to honestly need pliers, because I broke off all of my nails, bruised my fingers, and felt like I just crushed my electric guitar solo because my fingers were genuinely so tender for the following day after this. But nonetheless, I persisted. Using the jump rings to attach, I layered some alternating sizes of the Dinkies to make some interesting textured charmed keychains. I added the hooks to the earring sets, and quite cutie patooties were created on this day and time, if I may say so myself. Then, of course, I am a nightmare of a persona. I had to take it all the way with the packaging and commodify this hobby, because what is a pastime if you cannot make money from it? With the help of my sous chef, I cut out these backing pieces from an old scrap watercolor paper and then twisted or poked through the charms, wrapped them in cellophane, and propped them up all pretty in a display case. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Would you buy this? I know you would. At a fancy boutique for way too much money. At this point, I'll admit, this is a very extra step, but I took my little sideshow to a main show, a convention to be exact, and I hijacked a booth to adorn my display onto. Things were looking bleak as everybody passed by me and my charms. But nonetheless, I persisted. It did take about 48 hours to get a taker, and one BOGO discount included busking my life away. I did get a purchaser and a keeper more. It was very interesting and psychologically studyable to see what and why people were picking up the charms that they did based on who the hell knows what. These are the ones that people had purchased that I did creepily snap a picture of before they snatched them away for themselves. So, I spent approximately 5 hours creating, packaging, and perfecting my Shrinky Dink masterpieces, as well as 16 hours panhandling patrons to purchase them. At retail price, I spent $13.69 in Jeff Bezos' sandbox. I've made mistakes and $15. So I actually turned a profit, even have a pretty fair amount of them left. Like most of them, but besides $1.31, I also gained a lifelong lesson and some mantras that I'll share with you now. Number 1, if you think no one will buy it, you are wrong. It's a simple case of doing it at your birthday party.
It's like, no big deal. Like sucking dick and cock. Like, I'm just like, oh my God. Time and place. And you did it at my birthday dinner.
There is always someone craving a little vending dopamine. And while in this case it took a 2-for-1 price promotion, there was still the purchase of a good. And that's what counts. No matter how much you doubt it, your craft, your item, the market, the circumstance, it is no matter. Someone, somewhere, will buy your things. It just takes time, a bit of charisma, and a kitschy, borderline freaky product. And also, trying new things is so fun, actually so fun. Despite this basically being drawing and coloring, which I've done before, but something about adding a heating element and the chance of disaster adds a new exciting turn on an ordinary activity that I'd usually do for my amusement. That being said, take a chance and throw things in the oven. Or a oven. So you're asking yourself, if I'll be making more or doing this again. Well, yes, of course, because I still have half of the kit left. Actually, 3/4 of the kit. So much material left, so obviously I will be making more. But I think I've decided that the market is just not for me, and I'll take my Dinkies to a place where they'll be loved and use them more as gifts or random surprises for those I love or care for. But you know, will I ever do something like this again? Selling things for money because I'm desperate? Maybe.
Maybe.
Lastly, I know this is a bit of a strange video format and all together, but honestly I just really wanted to try Shrinkie Dinks, and I thought this would be fun to document and share my journey with you. I appreciate you sticking through this whole breakdown, but I really hope you've enjoyed yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.